Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you a story, my story, and I'm gonna title it as "Be careful who you marry." You know, I got married in my early 40s, and I didn't even have a proper wedding. As a matter of fact, I was planning a wedding, and my mom was dying, but my con artist husband, fiance at that time, he came home with the paperwork. He says that his boss worked at the courthouse or some shit like that and signed our marriage certificate. So I didn't know if I can get out of that. I was like, oh shit, so we're married? He's like, yeah. So that's how we got married. And I was like, really? That's how you're going to treat me? So, and he made me feel like he did me a favor, but no, that was the biggest mistake of my life. I didn't know him that well, but he acted like he pretended to be my soulmate, meaning he knew everything about me because my sister hired this con artist and told him what were my likes, what were my dislikes. So he knew everything about me before I even told him. So he acted like we knew each other, we liked the same things and stuff like that, you know? So I found out that my sister had hired him. And the first time when I introduced him to my sister, I didn't know they knew each other. She kept on saying, he looks so familiar. She looks so familiar. And she kept on winking at him and he kept on winking at her. I didn't think any of it anything of it then. But now that I look back, I'm like, wow, they were both conning me. And they did con me and took a lot of my money, got me homeless and all that shit. So please be careful when you marry somebody. Make sure you know who they are, where they're from, meet their parents, please. You know? Not that I didn't meet his mom. I did meet his mom, but she had a lot of red flags she was showing me, and I was ignoring the signs because I just wanted to be married already. I just wanted to have a kid, you know? I mean, this story happened many, many years ago, but I'm just sharing it and maybe it can help somebody, you know? Please do not ignore the red flags, you know? Anybody that you meet and tells you a sob story in the beginning, it's like a they just want you, they're trying to pull you in and be vulnerable, you know, like the very first date, which is so immature, you know. But his story was all lies, and I'm so happy I'm not with him anymore. And why I'm sharing my story, not that I'm not healed, I'm healed from that relationship, but I'm sharing it so I can help somebody else. Like, please know who you marry. Do a background check on them. Fuck yeah, do it. I don't care if they don't like that. Too bad, too sad. You know, do all the checks because I always thought I was gonna be with them for the rest of my life, but it didn't happen that way. You know, and it's okay because it was that, you know. But God did me a favor, and God let me know who He really was. And when He made that one mistake, I told him to get the f out of my house. I sure did because he cheated on me on top of that. And then I knew, and then everything fell apart. But then God, you know, God will take you out of that space because God knows what's good for you, you know? And then, I mean, to make the story short, he made me go through hell during the divorce because I had a house before I married him. He wanted my house after the divorce. And I was only married to him for 22 years and he wouldn't want to sign the paperwork. He wanted my house. Yep. Can you believe that shit? People are just men. Men like that should be shot in the fucking head. Yeah. Because they're not men, they're fucking cowards, you know? And yeah, that sounds brutal, but you know what? Ladies out there, please listen to my story because people will show you who they are. Do not ignore the red flags. And in my case, I did ignore the red flags and I thought he was the one. I thought so wrong because it was all a setup because he knew so much about me that I didn't even know. Yep. Because it was all a setup for my evil sister. But God is good because he got me out of that situation And and you know what? Here's a sad thing. I didn't know that he had a tracker on my car. This guy had a tracker on my car. Before he even met me, he had a tracker on my car. How do you think about that one? Before he even introduced himself to me, he had a tracker on my car because he was talking to my sister. You understand? Yep, he knew where I worked. He knew how much I made. He knew about my paychecks. He was, yep, man. I learned. I learned. So, anyways, please do not ignore the red flags. And the red flags were, in my case, was he wouldn't ever tell me how much money he made. It was a big secret. He would never tell me if he had any children in the beginning. And then he said he had kids. After 6 months, he told me he had children, which I had no clue about. So first you said you had no children, now you have kids? Because we were trying to fly out of the country and all that. And we couldn't because he owed money in fucking child support. So here I am like an idiot helping pay child support because I want to fucking travel with him, you know? Big mistake. Big mistake. I mean, this guy had me around his finger. I'm so happy I'm not with him anymore. And that was the biggest mistake I ever made. And I look back and I've learned from it, you know? And I don't hate him or anything. And now, you know, he's dying of colon cancer. Yes, he is. And I didn't wish that upon him because colon cancer did run in his family, you know? His grandfather had it. He had it, you know? I mean, his father had it. And now he has it. And it's so funny because when I got married to him, I let him use my health insurance and paid for the colon exam for him because he didn't want to go get his colon tested. And I was so concerned because he was my husband. You know, he gave me so much crap that he didn't want to go get his colon tested at that time. Yep. So ridiculous. And he did, though, and it was fine at that time. But I'm just saying, man, I just sit back and I think so many mistakes I've made because I wanted to get married. I just wanted to be with somebody, you know. But you know what? And my mom was passing away, and I just wanted her to see me at the wedding, but that never happened. But anyways, my basic message is don't rush into things. You know, try to get to know people, please. You know, inside out. Because do you ever know people though? You know, first get to know yourself. You know, completely. Then, if you meet somebody, try to get to know them completely because whatever shines is not whatever shines. What how's that line? Well, whatever shines is not always glitter or gold. You know. Yep. It can glow, but it doesn't mean it's glitter, right? Or it can glitter, but it doesn't mean it's gold. Whatever that line is, you know. You have to know people who they are on their good days and bad days. And here's the perfect thing. Here's a perfect example. You will know who they are first time around. Like when they're angry. How do they act like when they're angry, you know? Do they lose it? You know? That's important to know. How do they act like when they're angry? You know? That's so important. And the first time when me and my ex-husband got into a fight, he didn't like me talking back to him. And that's the day I told him to get the fuck out. Because I found out about his mistress. And that's one thing I would not tolerate. Nope. I don't accept any third parties. And nope. No way. Of course, he denied it. But then after when he left, his mistress posted on Facebook, "Today's the happiest day of my life. My boyfriend's back." So he was living two lives with me. He was living a life with me in my house, and then when he was going to work, he was saying he was going over his mom's. He was really hanging out with his girlfriend, his mistress. Yep. And I trusted him. I really trusted him. I had no idea this was going on, but it was. But now he's paying for it because he's dying from terminal cancer. Do I feel sorry for him? No, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel sorry for him because you know what? Karma's a bitch. You get what you will, whatever you sown, you're going to get. you know? And the sad thing is, he had a tracker on my car for a long time. I had no clue about. Yep. Now he used to work for um, this company, I don't want to say, but the same company where I took the car to get my car checked out, they didn't even want to help me because they were involved too. Yep. All set up. And then him, my sister, and all the other people that created this hate scheme against me will pay for it. Yes, they will. And they still gang stalk me and all that. Like, I don't really give a F. If you want to spend your time gang stalking me because you think I'm going to get scared, no. Archangel Michael is always protecting me, and God is always protecting me. So if you want to mess with me, do it face to face. But this guy was a covert narcissist, meaning he would do things behind the scenes. Yep. Covertly, you know. My sister is also a covert narcissist too. And she's not even my sister. She's not even my real sister. She's my stepsister. So, anyways, that's my story, you know. So please know somebody before you get deeply involved with them, especially marriage. Thanks for listening.